It's the Drum Hang, and I'm Chris Smith. Today, we're talking about Brian Blade. Yep, Brian Blade. The first time I ever saw Brian Blade live was with his group Fellowship at the Village Vanguard. And the thing that struck me probably the most was his dynamic range. Just the ability to cover from the softest soft to really strong and loud and everything in between, right? And he would play these dynamic ranges with phrases and with shapes around the drum set. And the shape that I noticed that I'm still stuck on is how he will go up the drums a lot. You know, a lot of drummers go down. Like, that's especially us mere mortals who grew up playing rock or whatever. We're going down the drums. Well, Brian plays a lot of phrases going up and ending on his left cymbal. So, the first thing that I'm going to point out is how he comes up the drums, and you'll hear him play it. Here's a couple examples. So, starting with your bass drum, it's bass drum on the upbeats, a triplet. So it's bass drum, right, left, a boo-boo, right? And he goes right, left on the floor tom, another right on the floor tom, and then a left on the high tom. That's how he gets up the drums. There's no crossing over involved. Right, left, right, left, right, left. So I'm going to play for you that Brian Blade clip again, and I'm going to then play this phrase that I've practiced that's a, you know, sort of a replica phrase. It's not exactly, I don't know, it's not exactly what he plays. It's not like, you know, it's biblical in its truth, but it is the same idea, it's the same sticking, and it achieves the same thing. The hard part about it is playing the triplet consistently, not rushing my foot, really getting the separation right, left foot, triplet, 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 and not rushing it. Not rushing it as you get louder. I mean, that's the hard part. putting dynamic shape on a phrase and keeping the subdivision of that phrase consistent and in the pocket. That is really where Brian Blade excels and where we don't. Okay, so here's this phrase, coming up the drums in triplets. I also wrote it here, and you can find it on my website if you want a bigger view, chrissmithjazzdrums.com. So here's the first phrase, Brian Blade playing triplets up the drums, and then I'll play the triplets for you, slow to fast. Check it out. So then I came up with this other phrase. It's inspired by Brian Blade. It's not exactly something I heard him play, but it's in the same realm. It uses doubles. I love playing doubles, and it breaks the doubles up as triplets, coming up the drums, ending on the cymbal. So on the and of 4. So I start with the and on my bass drum, and then I'm playing triplets, as I said, doubles up the drums, and it's actually much easier to play fast. I keep my bass drum on all the ands, triple lit, triple lit, triple lit, so it has that same feel, but it's kind of a hack and it's easier for me to play and I can play it very fast, as can you once you practice it. So here's my phrase based on Brian Blade's up the drum drumming. Here we go. Check it out. Start on the and of 1 and end on the and of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we're going to add musical shape and dynamic to it. So anybody that's seen Brian Blade live, you know you're sitting in the audience, you may not be the culprit, but somebody next to you is, and you're listening, and he sort of will play something, and he'll kind of pause, and you don't know what's coming next, and all of a sudden he'll unleash this like dynamic, and he'll hit the cymbal, and everybody goes, whoa, you know? For example, check this out. Right? Is that like, oh man, is that, whoa. You know, people are verbal. People are having visceral reactions to his drumming when you see him live, and that's part of the beauty. So that phrase right there is another triplet phrase where he goes down the drums, and the dynamic and the shape of it is beautiful. He ends playing a left accent on his high tom. So he goes down, booga, booga, and he comes back up, and he plays a left hard accent. So it sounds like it's going down and then back up, and then he really gives the cymbal with his right hand some energy, again, on the and of the phrase to propel it forward. So I've transcribed this. I'll play it for you after we watch Brian actually play it perfectly a couple times. I'll go slow to fast, and it's also transcribed right here. that through this episode, we both enjoyed listening to Brian Blade and sort of analyzing his greatness. The things that I hope you really come away with this are, like I said, his perfect subdivision of his limbs, especially playing those triplet phrases. He is just an extension of Elvin Jones' great drumming, right? All those triplets just perfectly subdivided over the different limbs of his body. Brian Blade is doing that also. That is really hard to do, for me at least. If you're different, good for you. It's hard for me, and I know it's hard for a lot of us. But playing those triplets between our hands and feet clean is hard enough. But then when you add these great musical shapes and dynamics to it, that adds a level of A, musicality, but B, suspense and excitement all at the same time. It's really, really hard to do, but really rewarding when you work towards it. And then equally as amazing when you hear Brian Blade play live. He always gets a good sound no matter what drum set he's playing, whether it's his own or some house kit. He uses maple sticks a lot on his cymbals to get, his cymbals are amazing. And then with those maple sticks, he gets really nice, woody, dark cymbal tones. He's just a great, great drummer of all time. And he's living, and you can go see him hopefully sometime this week or sometime soon in your area. So check out Brian Blade. I hope these are useful. Thanks for checking out the Drum Hang. Again, the transcriptions are on my website, chrissmithjazzdrums.com. And I hope to see you back soon at the Drum Hang. Take care. Take it away, Brian.